Okay, thank you. I'm very pleased to introduce this discussion. This discussion will be focused on the topic of the articulation of social sciences and art. I'm glad in the name of EHESS to support this double exhibition, taking art and action. And just a few words about Cress program, Research Creation in Social Sciences, that aims to develop the articulation of research in social sciences and art, and to develop the collaboration between artists and researchers for the expression, the understanding and the narrations of the human societies. So yeah, we are here to talk about that, to see and to understand what can be the dialogue between art and research in social sciences. So yeah, I leave the floor for the teams of the double exhibition, and thank you again.
My name is Miko. I'm from Myanmar. I'm the part of the exhibition that they're with the 5 artists together to collaborate with the Sama Chloe study in Myanmar, which is the research, and we are very interested to involve our every different art pieces to show the exhibition here.
Thank you again, Cress, for your support. It's really a great support for us to make voices to be heard. Thank you again, and thank you for people who come here today. I'm Gloria Truly Estrelita. I'm a PhD candidate at EHESS, Paris, and I'm working on the political prisoners in Indonesia, about their life in prison, and also the religious political debate around the program for political prisoners accused of being communists in Indonesia. Thank you.
Hello, so my name is Elsa Clavé. I'm an assistant professor of Southeast Asian Studies, an associate at the CAS, a colleague of Truly, and I'm working on the memory of violent events in Southeast Asia, especially the 1965 massacre.
Hello, my name is Ranga Purbaya. I came from Indonesia. I'm a visual artist. I'm working with collective memory and the violence history of 1965. And I'm also part of the artist collective called Ruang Mes 56 in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Thank you.
What art does to research and what research does to art, with your experiences?
I met Sama Chloe when I'm working with the photo festival, because I am also artist, a photographer, teaching the journalists for the storytelling. And then this is 2015 around, and then I met with the one she researching in Mandalay for the relatives, and that we met, and after we unexpectedly exiled. So they're here we have a group of artists arrive little by little within 1.5 years. So we bring the evidence what we have, because we did it in the place and stay, and then we have been hiding, and before we arrive, there's so many records we have it. So we bring these pieces, and at the same time after arriving there, we have been the stock, we have to talk. So, and then the Sama Chloe talked to me that what she researched, and at the same time the scene have been, we see so many time in the days by crisis. At the time we seen that what is coming from. So after we talk about the Sama Chloe, and then what is it research is deep more what is come from the religious thing, Yedaya and Bathing and astrologer, believing extreme from the military. So we have been trying to, okay, it make happen. So for the research for an art, for the artists, like we also have a part of the research to make an art. But it's for the researcher, we trying to understanding more that what we are happening and seeing and what we have been seeing before, and now we know more. Research is collaboration and plus, and I mean this is we see the view. And then now we understand more from the art. Research is more deeper to we understand more. Yeah.
Maybe I can explain also how we met. But quickly, that's also a long story, which also started in 2015. That was the 50 years of the commemoration of the mass massacre in Indonesia. So there was a lot of activity around that. And the first time I met Truly, I remember exactly, in fact, I met her now husband the first time in the Place du Châtelet, and someone introduced him to me and said he's going to Indonesia make a documentary on the mass massacre, which was something very difficult to do. And after 7 years after, we are here again doing something together. And a lot of things happened during the 7 years, and maybe Truly can explain quickly what linked us with Ranga and brought us to make the piece that we did for the exhibition together.
Yeah, so as Elsa have shared a little bit that we were making a documentary at that time about the 1965 tragedy. So it was funny because at the beginning I used to work with Ranga's mother. So not with Ranga but his mother. So Ranga's mother, Uchikowati, helped us a lot to meet the survivors, to share their testimonies, because it's not easy if you just suddenly go to someone's place or ask someone, share your stories. And behind these stories, there is trauma, so it was not easy. So Ranga's mother, Uchikowati, helped us a lot, bridge our communication with survivors so they can, step by step, little by little, open themselves to us.
I think you guys already tell the whole stories. No?
You art.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was met Truly in 2017. When she visited my hometown in Indonesia, in Yogyakarta. And after that, we keep in touch, and then after, like Truly said, that we start the webinar earlier this year. No, 2 years ago, like 20 last year. Yeah. And about I want to answer Remy question about the art and research, and in my artistic practice, I tend to use data research and then transform it into art piece. So because in my work I was talking about the mass killing, and we rarely have the data, and that's why I often have working together with the scholars and also researchers, and then we share our experiences and then also the data. That's how we start to collaborate between Elsa, Truly, and myself, and also other friends who cannot coming with us today. Yeah.
The question that I have in my head is more for the artist here first, because I think scholars and researchers in social sciences, we know we need artists. We know we need, when you do ethnography, we need a lot of people. People are very nice with us to share a lot of things. And when you are an artist, how can you feel that working with a researcher could be good for your production?
The first I would like to explain my experience. After I met Siama Chloe, and we started to talk about this from 6 months ago, no? And then we try to collaborate not only in the installation or exhibition. The first collaborate of the December, my project dance collaboration, and then we have been the first time we collaborate, and then I really like this concept to understanding more. So we have been so much collaborated for 2 months, and then what she is doing, what I can follow up. So that's a very interesting challenge. So, and plus understanding to researcher, and also another research from me with my photograph. So that's, I really like this. I have a document from the research, and plus also with my art or photograph. This is the interesting part in Japan, but it's Siama Chloe is very different. She bring it all the art, and most of the things she handling everything. It's incredible because most of the things are happening from the curator or artist, but she brings from the artist, and then she can understand more and more, and she's really working hard, not only researcher in the art scene. So we appreciate that how researcher is doing deep for the artist. So that's my answer.
Okay, this is my part. So yeah, I think it is very important for artists to work with researcher. Because as an artist, we need a strong argumentation or the base for making our artworks. And then also, I think we need to use the data that collected by the researcher, and to give more impact to the audience or spectators, and how we develop the data into artistic piece. And yeah, that's what I'm doing, because most of my work is based on research and based on the data. And probably Tulruli or Elsa will add more.
Can I disagree with you? When you say that, it's because for me that's the opposite. I see for me that it's the connection between art and research is obvious when it's from the researcher, from the artist's point of view, but it's more difficult to see how the researcher can use art, because usually it's distinguished. In research project, the artist work on the research project, or he's the public outreach. You know, he has a residence, but there is very few program, and I don't know any of it except the Cress, where you have researcher and artists that are invited to work together on the same problem, and so it's not one using the data of the other, or one helping disseminating the research of the other, but it's how together we reach something else. And I'm not sure, when we talk together, we are like, we are not yet there. We are on the process. And to be, when we contacted the Cress and we had our project, we say, okay, we will do this piece. And when we did it, when we wrote, with this ink, this UV ink, we wrote this archive, we both, I think, went one step ahead. Yeah.
Here is that as a researcher, it's sometimes what we publish is quite dry, but when we work together, it adds something, it adds emotion, it adds we know that as a researcher we have to put a distance with the subject, but at the same time we cannot avoid to be human. So, and by transforming the data into an artwork, it creates, it gives more sense actually. So,
What's the sense of my question? It was,
okay.
I just wanted to say that I think that researchers are very interested to take part in that process that brings to a transformation. And I'm wondering, what about the artist? Because, I'm a researcher, so I know that it's very important, and I wanted to hear and to know how how artists can feel it. But the aim is to bring to something else. Maybe we could talk about the making and the shape of the collaboration, so the exhibition.
So the idea is to use the artistic methods that I've been doing for a couple of years, and to develop the data that we have, and also and we had a lot of discussion. Is it the right methods, or etc., etc.? And then I think when we see the data, the name list, and we need something to give people the experiences regarding the victims of the mass killings and how we found it. I mean, this kind of document is rarely, it's very rare. So it's not that you see every day, but we need to add extra effort for people to found the names. So yeah, we use it as a metaphor regarding the mass killings and the disappeared people. Yeah.
So I will just explain the form for the ones who did not who haven't visited the exhibition. It's a list, military record archive, where you have the list of more than 100 people that have been killed between the 10th and the 20th December 1965, and it has been written with a UV ink. So you can just recover it with a lamp, and when you enter, you think it's just a blank page, blank tissue. As we think that those archive does not exist, because officially the military haven't killed people, or at least ordered to kill people, so they are not supposed to have lists.
In the revolution, the pieces we have been seeing, we have been recreating, reproducing work, and then through the religious, for example, like the sound, we make the sound protest with the pots and pans, and this kind of the pole name there is manpower wanted to be we wanted to show about this the scene, but when I start to work with the Siama research thing, we see so many times but we don't really have been recognize that what is it coming from. So I mean, we know, but it's after the same time, this is from the Yedia, this is from the believing and confirmation, protection. So that all artists have been discover the subject until now, until today, and we talk every day during the lunch. What is it the scene? What could be possible more? And that we non-stop until today, and tomorrow also we talk about it. This is really like it to understanding. This morning 8 a.m. we arrive, and this scene could be more, no? So it's kind of, or maybe different. That's very, very great. We can talk more, and this is coming from the religious, so we have more question ourselves, and also we talk, and other artists also. So sometimes artists are very different concept. The artist, she have very clear concept mind. Okay, to change a flag, they change the country name. This is very, very clearly that. But once she create the piece, it's like a dramatic cake like this. But it's very interesting what she say. And also different, another artist, he was display kind of a very clear thing, but talking conceptual is different. Idea is protection for your future, to be your new life, and at the same time comparison with the idea of a lot of different kind of topic we talk until now. So that's very interesting of the ideology, whether idea is protection or attractive or the attacking. So that's very interesting until now, because a lot of conversation that we have been experiencing.
Maybe if I can just what we just explained about the methodology, in fact, because we try to I mean, we had an idea, okay, let's do that for 65. We have the data and we want to touch more people. But we were not thinking that methodologically that will bring something for us, except the fact that we will have another form of narration that will be more satisfying, because that's also something that Truly and I we are not satisfied with the academic writing to convey feelings. And that was very successful because we were very emotional when we did the things, and people who visited were also quite emotional. But then while we wrote this list, as it was not very clear. So first, Ranga has the full concept, but we didn't understand anything. So we didn't understand that he wanted a projector. And so, you know, the technical part is definitely the artist. And then when we understood that he wanted us to really copy exactly the list, it's, of course, we gained so much through that because it took us hours. And by doing that, we also noticed like some marks on the list that I don't think I would have noticed it because I saw the list before. And I don't think I didn't notice it. And then also, by explaining it to the people, even when we wrote it, I didn't understand because Ranga was translating some Javanese for me. You know, that's a gangster, you know, this preman. And then okay, yeah, gangster. But then after, when I was explaining to people, I understand that it was in a column which named explanation. And this is something that I've never read, that the people were killed because we were part of this or that organization. But this, they explained because it was this organization and because he was an activist politically, or he was a preman, or so there's 3 categories. So for me, it's a new thing that I learned from that because of this practice. If I had the list, I'm not sure I wouldn't have noticed it. I would have said there is 100 names and that's it. And Ranga was also commenting.
Ranga, I know that as an artist, you do research as well. So I'm wondering how you think your research is different from the researchers in the room?
I wouldn't say that my research is different. It's that I think my research is more light, you know, like not that deep. So when I'm like comparing the result or the data that I have collected from my research, yeah, it's different. I mean, it is not so in depth like the other researchers that spend months or years with their resources or their resource. Yeah, source. Mm-hmm.
To the Burmese team. So you explained very well that you wanted to have also this ritual reading of the current situation, not only political. I was just wondering, especially you, because since you're Burmese, when you did this installation, were you yourself taking part in a yadeya?
I would tell that the concept, everything like me and the artist, and also we are trying to make it this is as a yadeya, because we will use it what they choose. Like we can see that this is from the public civilian, this is from the military, and also plus this is the happening. We trying to make this what they are doing again, and at the same time there we are discussion about the other artists, like do we do yadeya for us or not. So it's like me personally, I never did it, but the piece of work, piece of the concept, because we needed to we really passionate to against and win the dictatorship and justice, so we will use it. So this is the thing. For example, like the step on here, the face him, we will stop. We stay using. This is on the street. We step on his face. It's like we using the yadeya to keep him down. So it is unconsciously we did it. That we discover from the Sayama. Oh, we did it because of not only hate. This is the one we wanted to win it in this concept behind. So yeah, we use like he say and she say, And I say, and the sound artists say, and we say that yes, we do, because we wanted to really fight with that.
I just want to again disagree, but this time with Ranga, because he said his research are light, but not at all. I mean, he's exposing another piece which is called Faith in Speculation, and for me is, in fact, it's research, and I don't see the art. But it's an amazing cartography that bring all the data and bring the person inside. And I was also wondering, because this brought me to try other means of communication with other researchers, so just researcher trying to do art, but it's not art, it's just using another medium. And the question for me is not what is the idea, but what is art. And I think for me, at least as a researcher, is a way to engage the audience or the readership, who is not anymore an audience in the readership, more in what I'm saying. And that in general, I'm much more touched by art than by books, unfortunately. And I think that's what we did, and that's what Ranga's art, the Face in Action, his cartography, could be the cartography of a researcher, but the way it has been conceptualized is much, because I saw those cartography already before, but this works better.
I want to add as well. I disagree with Elsa. When the first time I saw the project of Ranga, the faith in speculation, I saw it as an art. Actually, it's a methodology. It's a way, but at the same time, it's an art. I don't see it. Perhaps I'm being too subjective because I'm his friend, but when we see a cartography on the internet, it is not the same. It's beautiful. So I encourage you to visit the SAL 50. It's Ranga and his friends. They really develop the concept, the data, but at the same time, they how can I say, they think a lot about the color, how to put the colors, how to put the data. So I see it as an art.
Yeah, but at the end, I agree with you. Now I realize that it's my conception of art that was wrong before. But if we consider that as art is a way to really engage more people, then it's art.
Yeah.
I will add. What? Sorry. Just no for the project.
You agree or you disagree?
It's hard for me to disagree with them. But I think that project is, for me, as an artist, I'm trying to pretend as a researcher.
Thank you very much. We see that the collaboration between artist and scholar has many facets. I'd say the dialogue can take many ways, and maybe that the transformation that it brings is on the field of disagreements, agreements, and and is a matter of stories, I would say. Thank you very much.